G'day viewers, Jeff from McPhee's Gardening. How's everybody going? At the moment we're not working because of lockdown in Victoria. We have a five-day lockdown due to the COVID. I think Sydney's got a 2-week lockdown. Our lockdown in Victoria is totaling, I think, about 16 weeks for the last 12 months that we haven't been able to work. Our government philosophy in COVID is to eradicate it. Unlike industries or countries overseas, they tend to live with the COVID, whereas our government wants us to get rid of it completely. And as a consequence, it's a big effect on business because there's only essential businesses are allowed to work. So unless you're in the medical profession or manufacturing, which has to keep going because it's making essential items, we're all got to stay home. Our lockdown means that we can't go outside a 5-kilometre radius. We can only go out to do some shopping, go to the doctors, and there's only one of us are allowed out. And I think we're allowed to go for a walk for 2 hours a day, and that's it. So yeah, there's quite a few negatives in it, and of course when you're not working, there's no money to be made. Although we're fortunate, being a GST registered company, we receive some grants from the government, so that's helped a little bit. And the other thing, of course, is it's a positive side I look at it, because we can look at the jobs that we need to do. For instance, a lot of equipment I've got to maintain, everything's all ready to go, and that's happened over the last few lockdowns, and all the jobs around the house have done so. Happy wife, happy life, as they say. Any rate, to the guys that are stressing, just use it to reset mentally and physically. We'll get over this and we'll continue on. Anyway, today's subject is quoting on referrals. Everybody must have had a customer that comes along and said, "Oh, Mrs. Such and Such, that you service has recommended you to have a look at our property and perhaps provide us a quote." Love these quotes, but there's a few traps that you've got to watch. The first thing, of course, is when they do get your name from that customer, there's several things. A, they know you're good, because they've seen the standard, or they've heard the standard that you are. People won't refer anybody unless you are good and you're treating that customer right. And the second is that they know roughly about what you charge, because they would have asked that customer, well, how much did that cost to get that rejuvenation done, or how much do they charge you to do the lawns? So it's always wise to check on the customer always ask the potential customer who was the referral from, because like us all, we have a few cheapies in our stable, and you want to make sure you don't get caught out. So obviously, look, we rock up to the place and we say, knock on the door, and as we said in quotations, presentation, treat the referral as a new customer, because you don't know them anyway. So you've got to present yourself as we do. And the other thing is to say to them, what can I do to make your garden look fantastic? So we do the walk around, and we always write down what they ask. Let them do the talking. Ask them questions about to what level do they want the diosmas pruned back, how low do they want the trees, you want mulch for the garden after it's been weeded, etc. So you're writing all those down, and at the same time you're thinking, okay, let's what we can upsell. All right, you see in the distance a hedge that hasn't been touched for many years, and you can say, look, I could reduce that hedge by a third, I could make it look great. I can also provide extend the mulching to cover all those garden beds at the back as well. So you're writing all these down. Now, there is a trick in with these referral customers, or a trap, is that their expectation of you is higher than the expectation of someone you're just doing a normal quote out of the blue. Because they know you're good and you're being referred to, you've got an obligation to have a higher standard than the normal person. You shouldn't, but you do. It does work that way. And what that means is that when you do the job, you're going to do it a little bit better. You're going to do that 110% instead of 100%, because you don't want to disappoint your new customer, because not only have you disappointed them, you've disappointed the person that's referred, and that's another customer or long-standing customer of yours. So you've got a couple of people you've got to please, not just the one this time. So that means when you do the quote, always allow a little bit extra time, so that you're not going to undersell yourself. All right, it might be a little bit more expensive, but as I said before, when you've arrived there, they want the work done. They want someone to do it. They've been referred to because they know you're good, so you've got the job. So obviously if it's quoted sensibly, but also make sure you put a little bit extra in so that you can do the job properly, everything will be rosy. So now the other important thing is when you do give them the quote, make sure that you detail a written quote to them. If you go away, you can send it, email it to them. I just write it out on the job. I'll work out, but I'll detail 2 diasmas, 3 lily pillies, weed and mulch the front garden beds, etc. So once the job's done, you can tick those off when you do the walk around with the customer, when you sign off on the job. And they might say, well, what about weeding up the sideway? Not on our list. Look at your quote, it's not on your load. We can do it, it's going to cost you extra. But always, garden rejuvenations, pruning, detail the items you've got to do. Sure, a garden, a lawn and edge is pretty simple. You can do that a verbal. It's $60 to mow and wedge on a regular basis or whatever. Anyway, that's just my little way I go about referral customers. They are gold. I love them. The more you get, it means that you must be doing a good job, because your existing customers are really happy with you and they're quite pleased to refer you on to someone else. So I reckon that's an indicator of how well you're going. If your customers are referring you to other people, that should mean a lot to you. Anyway, we'll see you on the next video, and remember guys, if you're under the lockdown, just be positive about it. Just get things organised, work out what you've got to do for when you get back. Inform your customers, make sure that everybody's on the same page as you. I've sent out a multiple text and emails today saying that at the moment we're not going back until I think Wednesday. It could be extended. I will contact you the day before when I know everything's back. Now what it's going to mean is some of my fortnightlies we're going to have to skip, because I've got too much work coming up and it's going to be too hard to get through them all. So I'm going to lose money of this, because I'm probably all Mondays customers are going to have to skip to the next fortnight, so I miss out on that income. But I've got other jobs coming in and I want to get onto them as well. So just got to plan it out. Until the next video, guys, thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and like, and especially comment. Looking forward to your comments. Enjoy everybody's comments, and even give some tips too. I enjoy that. I enjoy watching the other YouTubers. I'm trying to subscribe to as many YouTube guys as I can find that I think are worthy, and there's a lot in Australia, there's a few in England I've seen, and there's a few in America overseas, but I reckon it's great if we can look at other people's videos, and you learn a lot from them too, and I really enjoy them. I hope you enjoyed mine. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next video.